Hi dear, welcome back to Timeless Wisdom. Have you ever noticed how some homes manage to look effortlessly elegant and tidy, even when they aren't sprawling mansions or packed with expensive furniture? There's a certain charm and sophistication that makes these spaces stand out, something that feels welcoming the moment you walk in. Today, I'm excited to share with you 10 simple yet powerful secrets that can transform any home, making it a place that not only impresses every visitor, but also helps you feel happier and more relaxed in your everyday life. The real secret isn't about spending huge amounts of money or constantly buying new decor. Instead, it comes down to a few small details that most people overlook. Tiny changes that add up to a big difference in the overall atmosphere of your space. If you've ever felt frustrated because your home still feels cluttered after cleaning, or you've sensed that something is missing, no matter how much you tidy up, this video will help you see your space with fresh eyes. I'm going to share the very tricks I used to completely change the look and feel of my own home. Tips that are practical, affordable, and easy for anyone to apply, regardless of budget or experience. Whether you're hoping to create a more inviting space for guests, boost your own comfort, or simply add a touch of elegance, you'll find inspiration here. And be sure to watch all the way to the end, because the final tip is so impactful that it's considered a go-to secret by top professional decorators. Ready to transform your home? Let's get started with these practical tips that will instantly make your living space look more organized, welcoming, and beautifully elegant. Tip 1. The first tip may seem obvious, but it makes all the difference. Eliminate visible wires. Look around your room right now. How many wires can you see? Wires from chargers, TVs, computers, lamps. These wires create a sense of clutter even when everything is tidy. It's as if our minds can't ignore this little visual chaos. Many people spend time cleaning and organizing furniture, but leave this mess of wires that immediately gives the room an air of sloppiness. The good news is that solving this is simpler than it seems. You can use cable organizers that cost little and are easily found. Another option is to use double-sided tape to fix the wires behind the furniture, making them practically invisible. For larger wires, such as those from the TV or computer, there are channels that can be painted the same color as the wall, completely camouflaging the cables. One technique that works very well is to gather all the wires in the same place, such as stereos and TVs, and run them through an organizing tube. This transforms several wires into just one visual element, much more pleasing to the eye. I remember when I organized the wires in my living room for the first time. A visitor came over and commented on how much cleaner and more organized the room looked, without being able to identify exactly what had changed. This is the power of small details. When you eliminate visible wires, your home immediately takes on a more well-kept look, as if a professional had been there. And the best part is that you can do it in an afternoon with very little investment. At the end of the day, you will have a visibly more elegant and harmonious space. Tip 2. The second tip is to pay special attention to the entrances to your home. The entrance is the first impression people get when they arrive, and also what you see when you return home each day. A messy or characterless entrance immediately diminishes the perceived value of the entire home. It's amazing how this small space can influence the perception of the entire environment. Many people let the entrance accumulate shoes, mail, keys, and other everyday items scattered around, creating a feeling of clutter as soon as they arrive. Transforming this space is simpler than it seems and makes an immediate impact. Start with a small storage unit to store keys, mail, and other small items. It could be a simple sideboard or even a narrow shelf. Add a mirror to the wall, which, in addition to being useful for one last check before leaving, also visually expands the space and reflects light, making the entrance brighter. A small vase with plants or fresh flowers brings life to the space and shows attention to detail. I remember when I placed a small flower arrangement in the entrance of my home. It was something simple, but every time I came home tired from work, those flowers would greet me and instantly improve my mood. For shoes, have a specific place, whether it's a closed shoe rack or a pretty box where guests can leave their shoes if that's the custom in your home. Proper lighting also makes all the difference. A wall lamp or a small lampshade on the sideboard creates a cozy and elegant atmosphere. If you have the space, a small bench or seat allows people to sit down to take off or put on their shoes comfortably. The result of these small changes is an entryway that welcomes you, conveys organisation, and elevates the level of your entire home, even before you see the rest of the rooms. Tip 3. The third tip is to unify the colours of your utilitarian objects. Notice how in homes that seem disorganised, even when clean, there is a profusion of different colours in everyday items. Colourful toothbrushes on display in the bathroom. Different types of soaps in flashy packaging. Colourful cleaning products under the sink. Kitchen sponges in neon colours. These small multicoloured items create a visual noise that our minds associate with clutter, even when everything is in its right place. The solution is surprisingly simple and causes an immediate transformation. Choose a neutral palette for your utilitarian items. In the bathrooms, opt for toothbrush holders, soap dishes, and liquid soap dispensers in colours such as white, beige, light grey or black, depending on your bathroom decor. Transfer cleaning products to neutral patterned bottles, which can be found for affordable prices at utility stores. In the kitchen, choose utensils in the same shade or in colours that coordinate with each other. Even dishwashing sponges can be found in less flashy versions. I remember when I first organised my kitchen this way. I transferred dish soap, hand soap, and other liquid products into matching beige dispensers and stored the colourful sponges in a small box under the sink. The transformation was so noticeable that my sister, when she visited, asked if I had remodelled the kitchen. All I had done was colour code the utilitarian objects. This small change makes the space feel calmer and more intentionally decorated, like the ones you see in home decor magazines. It has an especially strong impact in small spaces like bathrooms and kitchens, where we tend to accumulate more of these small, colourful items. And the best part is that you can implement this tip gradually, replacing items as they are used up, without having to throw away anything that is still in good condition. Before continuing with the next tip, I want to ask you to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive more videos like this. Also, leave a comment telling me where you are watching from. Your participation is very important to me and helps me create more content that really makes a difference in your life. Now, let's continue with more incredible tips to transform your home. Tip 4. The fourth tip is to pay attention to the quality and placement of your curtains. Curtains are like the clothes in your home. Just as a well-chosen outfit can completely transform a person, the right curtains instantly elevate any room. The most common mistake I see is curtains that are too short or positioned incorrectly. Curtains that barely touch the floor give the impression that something is missing, like pants that fall above the ankle. For a more elegant look, curtains should barely touch the floor or have no more than 1 centimetre of overhang. Another important detail is the height at which you install the curtain rod. Many people place the curtain rod right above the window, when the ideal position is closer to the ceiling. This creates the illusion of a higher ceiling and larger windows, giving the room more grandeur. As for width, when the curtains are open, they should cover as little of the window as possible, allowing maximum natural light to enter. To achieve this, the curtain rod should be wider than the window, extending about 30 centimetres to each side. I remember when I adjusted the curtains in my living room following these rules. The difference was so great that it seemed like a completely different space. more spacious, and sophisticated. As for fabric, opt for natural materials whenever possible, such as cotton, linen, or a blend of these. They drape better and have a more noble appearance than synthetic fabrics. If you're on a tight budget, prioritise quality curtains for social areas and leave simpler options for bedrooms and private areas. For those with children or pets, there are easy-to-clean fabrics that imitate the appearance of linen. A trick for those who don't want to spend a lot is to use plain curtains in neutral colours, which go with any style of decor and tend to be more affordable. Well-chosen and correctly installed curtains are like a good haircut. They enhance all the other elements in the room and instantly raise the level of elegance of your home. Tip 5. The fifth tip deals with an often overlooked detail: lighting. A well-lit home automatically feels more well-kept and cosy, while inadequate lighting can make even the most beautiful spaces seem sad or uninteresting. The most common problem I find in homes is the reliance on a single central light source, which is often too strong and lacking in personality. This creates harsh shadows and an unwelcoming environment. The solution is to work with layers of light. Truly elegant lighting combines at least 3 light sources in each room. A general light softer than traditional light, points directed at specific tasks, and accent lights to create atmosphere. In the living room, for example, in addition to the overhead light, add lamps near the sofas for reading, and small light points to highlight paintings or plants. In the kitchen, in addition to general lighting, have lights directed at the food preparation area. The temperature of the light also makes all the difference. Very white and cold lights give an institutional feel, like in hospitals or offices. To create a more welcoming and sophisticated environment, opt for yellowish lights with a temperature between 2700 Kelvin and 3000 Kelvin. This provides a warmer and more natural tone, similar to sunlight in the late afternoon. I remember when I transformed the lighting in my living room. Before, there was only one strong bulb on the ceiling, which was left on at night. I added 2 lampshades in strategic spots and installed an LED strip behind the bookcase to create an indirect light effect. The result was amazing. Now I have lighting options for different moments and activities. Guests always comment on how cozy the room looks. An extra tip for those who don't want or can't make changes to the electrical structure. There are smart bulbs that can be controlled by an app, allowing you to adjust the intensity and even the color temperature. They are a practical way to transform the lighting without major renovations. With well-planned lighting, your home will instantly gain a more elegant and welcoming feel. Tip 6. The 6th tip focuses on a detail that makes all the difference in the elegance of a home: the organization of books and decorative objects. Many people have good books and interesting decorative pieces, but the way they arrange them ends up creating a feeling of visual disorder. The most common problem is overcrowded shelves and bookcases, where items seem to be piled up without any criteria. To change this scenario, we need to apply some simple principles of visual organization. Start by creating empty spaces between groups of objects. A bookcase where every inch is taken up seems suffocating and devalues each individual item. Empty space is as important as the objects themselves, as it allows each piece to stand out. Organize books in blocks, alternating between vertical and horizontal positions to create visual rhythm. Stack some books horizontally and use them as a base for a small decorative object, creating interesting compositions. As for decorative objects, the secret is to group them into small collections with some characteristic in common, be it colour, material, or seam. 3 pieces of white ceramic together create more visual impact than the same pieces scattered around the house. I remember when I reorganized my bookshelf using these principles. Before, I had books and objects scattered all over the shelves. I removed about 1/3 of the items, storing the less significant ones, and rearrange the rest by creating small groupings with empty spaces between them. The transformation was amazing. The same bookshelf with the same objects, just arranged differently, looked like a decoration piece from a magazine. An additional trick is to use decorative boxes to hide small, necessary, but visually unattractive items, such as remote controls, chargers, and other utilitarian items. These boxes come in a variety of materials and styles, from the simplest to the most elaborate options. With these simple changes to the organization of your books and decorative objects, your home will instantly have a more sophisticated and intentionally decorated feel. Tip 7. The seventh tip addresses a fundamental aspect that transforms any home into a more elegant place: the quality of bath towels and bed linens. These items may seem secondary, but they make an extraordinary difference in the perception of care and sophistication in a home. The most common problems are worn out, rough-looking or stained towels and bed linens with no harmonious pattern or of questionable quality. Even well-decorated homes lose a lot of charm when these elements do not receive due attention. The good news is that solving this does not require a large investment all at once. You can start by gradually replacing the most visible or worn items. For bath towels, look for options with a higher weight, over 400 grams per square metre, which are softer and more absorbent. Egyptian or Turkish cotton towels are excellent options, but there are good alternatives at more affordable prices. The important thing is that they are soft to the touch and absorbent. As for colours, opt for neutral tones that match any bathroom decor. White, light grey, beige, or navy blue are always elegant. Avoid towels with flashy or childish patterns unless they are for a specific bathroom for children. When it comes to bedding, the most important aspect is how it feels. Cotton sheets with a thread count of at least 200 offer a good balance between quality and price. For a more luxurious feel, cotton pile sheets are fresh and long-lasting. I remember when I changed the towels in my master bathroom, which receives guests. I had towels of different colours before, some of which were already looking worn. I replaced them all with a set in a light grey shade, which was thicker and softer. The bathroom, which was already clean, instantly took on the feel of a luxury hotel. An extra tip for keeping your towels looking new is to wash them with a cup of white vinegar occasionally, which helps remove soap and fabric softener residue that hardens the fibres over time. For bedding, changing them weekly and storing them properly, avoiding creases, helps keep them looking fresh. When well chosen and maintained, towels and bed linens elevate the level of comfort and elegance in your home, creating a sophisticated sensory experience for you and your guests. Tip 8. The eighth tip is about an element that completely transforms the atmosphere of a home: the presence of live plants. A space without plants seems unfinished and lifeless, while spaces with well-kept vegetation instantly convey a sense of care and sophistication. The challenge that many people face is thinking that they are not good at caring for plants, or that they do not have enough time. The truth is that there are options for all levels of skill and time availability. For those who are just starting out, plants such as Zamioculcas, pothos, snake plants, and succulents are extremely hardy and require very little maintenance. These species survive well even with spaced watering and little direct light, making them ideal for indoor environments. The positioning of the plants also makes all the difference. Instead of several small plants spread out, which can seem disconnected, create groups of 3 or 4 specimens of different heights in the same corner. This creates more visual impact and seems more intentional. For small spaces, a single larger plant makes more of a difference than several small ones. I remember when I placed a good-sized Zamioculcas in the corner of my living room that always seemed empty. The transformation was immediate. Suddenly, the space gained life and personality. Pots are also an important part of this equation. Avoid leaving plants in the original plastic pots from the store. Invest in beautiful pots that complement your decor. They don't have to be expensive. There are excellent options in ceramic, cement, and other materials at affordable prices. The important thing is that they follow a visual unity with the rest of the decor. For those who really don't get along with real plants but want the same effect, there are now excellent quality artificial plants. The key is to choose realistic options and always keep them clean without accumulating dust. With a mix of live and artificial plants, you can bring naturalness and life to every room in your home. Plants not only beautify your appearance, but also improve air quality and create a connection with nature inside your home, making spaces more welcoming and sophisticated at the same time. Before I move on to the next tip, I want to tell you about something special I prepared for those who want to go beyond this video. It's a complete guide with organization secrets that completely transform my home and can transform yours too. The link is in the pinned comment, and for a limited time, I'm offering a special discount for channel subscribers. Now, let's continue with the next tips, which are some of my favorites. Tip 9. The 9th tip focuses on a subtle but powerful detail: the quality and pattern of the cushions and throws. These small textile elements are like the jewels of a home, capable of completely transforming the look of sofas, armchairs and beds, with a relatively small investment. The most common problem I see is misshapen cushions with flattened filling, faded colours, or patterns that don't match the rest of the decor. Thin or low-quality synthetic blankets also reduce the perceived value of the entire space. To take your decor to the next level, start by replacing the covers of the cushions you already have. Opt for natural fabrics such as cotton, linen or velvet, which have a more noble drape and texture. As for the colours and patterns, create a coherent palette that matches each other and the main tones of the room. One technique that works very well is to mix plain cushions with others with subtle patterns, such as thin stripes or small geometric designs, maintaining a harmony of colours. Vary the sizes and shapes, mixing larger square pillows with smaller rectangular or round ones to create more visual interest. For throws, look for options in natural materials like cotton or wool, which are not only more beautiful, but also more comfortable and durable. Even in hot weather, light cotton throws are great for cooler nights and add texture to the room. I remember when I transformed my sofa by simply swapping out the 4 old pillows for a combination of 2 larger beige linen pillows and 2 smaller dark green velvet pillows, finishing with a cream-coloured cotton throw folded over the arm. The same sofa, which previously seemed plain and boring, now has a sophisticated and cozy feel. An extra tip is to have extra pillow covers to change out as the seasons change, or when you want to update the look without spending a lot. Lighter colours and lightweight fabrics are for warm days, and deeper tones and thicker textures are for cold days. With a small collection of covers, you can transform the room several times a year. Well-chosen cushions and blankets are like makeup for your home. They highlight your strong points, disguise imperfections, and bring personality to your space. Tip 10. The 10th and final tip reveals the secret that professional decorators use to give that final touch of elegance to spaces. Attention to the small finishing details and the proportions of objects. Often, what makes a space look amateurish or disjointed is not the main furniture, but rather the small elements that make up the whole. The first aspect to pay attention to is the proportions. A rug that is too small under a dining table, a picture lost on a large wall, a disproportionately small lampshade on a side table. These are common mistakes that diminish the visual impact of the entire space. The golden rule is that rugs should extend beyond the limits of the furniture. Pictures should occupy at least 2/3 of the width of the furniture below them, and lampshades should be of a height proportional to the tables where they are placed. As for finishing details, such as chipped baseboards, yellowed switches, worn doorknobs, or poorly installed curtains, they send a subliminal message of carelessness. Replacing these small elements is a minimal investment that makes a surprising visual impact. I remember when I replaced the yellowed white light switches in my living room with new matte finish models. It was such a small detail that I hesitated to make the investment, but the difference was impressive. Suddenly, the entire wall looked cleaner and more well kept. Another important aspect is the loose finishing threads on rugs, pillows, or curtains. Cutting these threads regularly is a simple habit that keeps fabrics looking new for much longer. Finally, consistency in the metals used in decoration creates a sense of continuity and intentionality. Try to keep the same finish, gold, silver, bronze, or black, on elements such as handles, knobs, light fixtures, and other metal details within the same space. This consistency in the small details is what differentiates spaces that look professionally decorated from those that, even with good furniture, never reach the same level of sophistication. It is the small finishing touches and the right proportions that add that final touch of elegance that makes all the difference. We've reached the end of our 10 tips for transforming your home into a more elegant and well-kept space. As we've seen, it's not expensive furniture or major renovation projects that make the difference, but rather the attention paid to the small details, from organising the cords and transforming the entrance to the house to carefully choosing fabrics and paying attention to the finishes. Each of these elements contributes to creating a home that exudes care and sophistication. The most incredible thing is that all of these changes can be implemented gradually without making a large investment all at once. Start by applying one tip a week, and in a few months your home will be completely transformed. Remember that true luxury is not in the price of the objects, but in the harmony between them and the care with which they are maintained. Elegance emerges when each element has its purpose and place, creating an environment that is welcoming and comforting. Before we wrap up, I want to give you a little challenge from Timeless Wisdom. Pick just one of the tips we talked about today and put it into action this week. Maybe you'll start by tidying up your bookshelf or finally tucking away those visible cords. Whatever you choose, pay attention to how even this small change can transform the feel of your home. Then come back and share your experience in the comments. Let us know which tip you tried first and what difference it made. Remember, your home is a reflection of the care you put into it, and every small, mindful gesture adds up to create a more inviting and elegant space. With just a bit of daily attention, you can turn your home into a true sanctuary. Thanks for watching Timeless Wisdom. I'll see you in the next video.